Hi, my name is Renette, and my role play today is a 16-year-old female. I have a 1-year-old child, and I live at home with my mother.
Hi, my name's Rafaela, and I will be the child family welfare social worker, providing resources to the family.
Hi, my name is Sam, and I am the mother of the 16-year-old child. I create a lot of problems with my boyfriends coming over, and I usually make it seem like I care about myself more than my child.
Hey guys, how are you this evening?
Oh, been better. Always been better.
I would say the same. It's been better than it is.
Always have to be negative. Always, always, always.
Okay, well, why don't we go back into my office and we could kind of discuss this and see what's going on so I could help you guys. Does that sound okay?
I guess I don't think it's going to be worth it because she doesn't listen to anything any of us say, but we can try.
Okay.
Whatever.
All right. So it's only been a week since I've seen you guys. So what has happened within this week? Because last time you guys left the office, things were going well. I provided you with some resources to look into for a job. So who wants to start with letting me know how things have been going with the past week?
She can go first. She doesn't listen to anything I say anyway, so it's not going to
I was
change.
just saying the same thing. You don't listen to a word that I say ever. You never want to speak to me. You only have an attitude when you speak to me, and you don't want any of my advice ever. I raise children.
You never talk to me, Mom. You're always hanging out with my uncles, so I don't get a chance to sit down and talk to you. So how can I tell you how I feel if I don't get to talk to you?
So you want more of a communication between you and your mom is what it sounds like.
Yes, but talk without an attitude.
You start the attitude. You are the queen of attitude. You think that you can rule the household. You're only 16 years old.
Okay, but Mom, I'm only 16, but again, I don't get to talk to you. And who are all these guys that you spend more time with? You tell me they're my uncles, but I didn't know you had that many brothers.
You are out getting pregnant at 16. You don't get to question what I do in my household. I am doing what I want to do, and you don't get to.
See, she doesn't want to listen to anything I say. I'm trying to communicate, but she's telling me it's all my fault.
Okay, well, let me jump in because I don't want you guys to go back and forth and say things that you'll regret at the end of the session because this is not what this is about. I want to do a family session for you guys to be able to communicate better, but it sounds like we're kind of bickering back and forth, and I don't want the session to come to an end and not solve anything. So I have an exercise that I would like to try with you guys. Are you willing to try something new with me? We haven't done it before, so I just wanted to see if that's okay.
Sure. I'm ready to try something new.
Okay.
I guess.
So we're all on the same page. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to pass out some sticky notes. We're going to answer a few questions, and then we'll kind of review them. I'll also participate in this with you guys, and then we could review your answers and just talk about it as a group. All right?
Okay.
So the first question that I want you guys to think about and write anything that comes to mind on the sticky note. It's going to be anonymous, so just say whatever you'd like. What changes need to take place in order for the situation to improve? Because it sounds like there are some difficulties with that. Something else that I would like you to think about are what issues contributed to the conflict between the family? And then what do you think contributed the most to help solve the conflict?
Well, first of all, I think Mom needs to get her shit together.
Well, why don't we write that down?
To be anonymous. You're not supposed to tell me what you're feeling. Didn't you listen to what she was saying?
So let's write them down. Let's take a few minutes, and then I'll post them on the door, and then we could kind of I'll read them out loud, and then we could kind of talk together. All right?
Okay.
All right. So take a second. Let's see what you come up with. And we'll kind of go from there. Okay. All right, so do you guys have any other ones, or are these or the ones that you want me to start talking about?
I think that's really it for me. And I couldn't come up with too much.
Okay.
Yeah, that's it for me too.
Okay. So I see some things here. Both seen, heard, and known. Change attitude. Stop bringing home my uncles. For her to get her shit together. I am old enough to take care of myself. And communication.
So, you said it's supposed to be anonymous, but obviously she is not bringing home my uncles as she says that I do all the time. So I don't think she did very good at this exercise because I know exactly which ones that she wrote.
So this is a little hard because there's only two of you. It's not the entire family or group therapy. So this is a little bit more challenging with this activity since it's just the two of you participating. So you definitely know which ones she wrote and she definitely knows which ones you wrote. But instead of kind of bickering back and forth, I thought we could kind of jot them down on a sticky note and discuss each one.
Well, at least I got my point across.
Is that the one that you want to start with first?
Yeah, I do want to start with that one.
Okay, so stop bringing home my uncles. What are your thoughts on that?
It bothers me that she thinks that she can tell me what to do because I am her mother and it does not concern her what I do in my own household. And I do not tell her that every one of these men are her uncles. She's being a little dramatic about it. She's exaggerating like she always does.
Well, but those so-called uncles are around my child. I don't want all these different men around my child.
They don't care about your child. They could care less about your child. They don't want anything to do with your crying baby all the time.
Do you see her concern, though, with the different men coming into the home?
I didn't hear what you said.
Do you see her concerns with the different men coming into her home?
I mean, I guess, but it's not really about her all the time. I'm allowed to do whatever I want in my own household.
Of course, it's your house.
But I never said it was all about me, but I do have to take in consideration that I have a child, your grandchild, in the house.
Yeah, and you keep him holed up in his room all day, all night long. So why?
That's because you have my uncles over.
So instead of having him locked up in the room, why don't I provide you with some resources? There's summer camp, there's the YMCA, we could get you financial aid so he can go around other children and not be home all the time. Is that
I suggest that to her all the time, and she never wants help for any of that stuff. She thinks that she can do it all on her own.
Do you think that's something you'd be interested in for him?
Yeah, I think I would be. I would like to get a job. I'd like to earn my own money so I can take care of my child, and in the process, I can get my own place and maybe become emancipated. Then I won't have to live in her house.
So these are great goals for yourself for a job, and I could help you get a job coach if you think that's needed.
I don't think she needs to be emancipated. She is 16 years old. She does not need to live away from her mother.
Okay, so I'm kind of getting the feeling that this activity was not helpful. So the one sticky note that's kind of popping out to me is communication.
Okay.
We're going to take turns, one at a time. Speak for as long as you'd like. We're going to be very respectful to the people that are talking. We're not going to interrupt. And then at the end, we could kind of talk about both parts. Okay? So I would like you guys to think about the positives and negatives of communication in the household. Mom, I want you to talk about the positivity.
Okay.
Okay, would you like to go first?
Yeah, sure. I would love to.
Okay.
So
whenever you're ready.
You always hear people say that communication is key to any sort of relationship, and I truly think that it is, but she never wants to communicate with me. She always just slams her door shut whenever I try to talk to her, and all I want to do is just get some thoughts out. I've raised children of my own, on my own, just like she's doing right now. And she shouldn't have to. She should not have to raise a child on her own in a household where she's not on her own. And I think that if we just communicate openly and we talk to each other about anything and everything that mothers and daughters should talk about, that it will be better for everybody in the household. I think that there will be less fighting and there will be less arguing and less door slamming and everything I think would be better. We would get along better. And even if we did have a little ruffle here and there, that obviously happens because that's what happens with mothers and daughters. They fight all the time. But she shouldn't feel like she should get emancipated. She is only 16 years old and she never wants to talk to me. It hurts my feelings and it makes me feel like I did a horrible job raising her because she never wants to open up to me about anything and everything. It's always secretive. She's off getting pregnant. I felt like if maybe I was able to talk to her about safe sex more, or she didn't walk away every time I brought up boys around her, then maybe she wouldn't have gotten herself in the situation. I just think that if we communicate more, it would be 90% better in our household every single day, personally.
Okay. Okay. So that safety relationship, that positive attachment.
Exactly. I think we just need to learn how to talk to each other better than we have, because obviously the way we talk to each other is not the best at all times. And I know that sometimes I am to blame, but I do try to communicate with her every single day and she shuts me down all the time.
Okay. Thank you for sharing. Before you talk about the negative pieces, can you summarize what your mom just said?
She just said that she wishes we would communicate more, and that if we could communicate more, then there'd be a lot of more positive things going on in the house, and then things would be a lot better between us. And yeah, that's it.
Do you think she took that
Um,
information in?
I think she took about 75% of it in, but that's better than what she normally takes in because usually she just walks away and ignores everything I say. So that's definitely a good start for listening to what I'm saying.
Okay. Well, thank you for sharing. Floor is yours.
Well, I just don't think she listens to anything I have to say. Like, if I tell her I want to hang out with my friends for a little while, she tells me no because I have a child to take care of. I understand I have a kid, but I also need to hang out with my friends from time to time. So she doesn't let me hang out with. She's not willing to watch my child, so I can go hang out with my friends. Whenever I come up with something that sounds good to me, like I want to get a job, I want to move out, she just tells me no. She just turns and walks away. So, but she shuts me out too.
Okay. Is there anything else you would like to add until Mom summarizes that for you?
I just think that she could be a little bit more positive and listen to me a little bit more. I mean, I understand I walk away, but sometimes she could just say, "Hey, I'm Mom. You need to stop and listen."
Okay. Mom, can you summarize what she just shared with us?
So she basically said that she should be able to go out and do her own thing, even though she decided to have her child, and that I don't listen to her as much as I should, or I don't discipline her as much as I should either. That's what I got out of it, I think.
Okay. What are your thoughts? Do you think Mom did an okay job summarizing what you shared with us today?
Yeah, she did a good job, but I just think she needs to stop being so negative. I mean, I understand I'm 16, I have issues, but Mom should help me, and she shouldn't just let me just go off and do that. That's what teenagers do.
And I think the communication piece will be very helpful for you guys. And I hope these activities were helpful. So you guys were able to share what's going on and what you had on your mind tonight. I think you are both working very hard to keep your relationship going. And I'm sure it's not easy, but don't give up. There's a lot of opportunities for the both of you. I am here to help with resources in any way. This is our safety place, so whatever we say, in therapy stays between us. Any thoughts with the 2 activities that we just completed, or anything else you want to add with what I just shared?
I personally, I really liked this common ground activity, and I don't think it's going to help everything the first try, but maybe if we kept all of our sticky notes, we can talk about a new topic every single week, and
Sure.
kind of, maybe our relationship can get back to the way that it once was in a few months, because I don't think this is going to fix it automatically.
Right.
I don't either, but I think if we can communicate maybe a little bit more each week, I think it'll get better.
I agree with that. I think that's the first thing that we've agreed on in a very long time.
Good. I'm so happy that you're both agreeing, and I'm glad that the second activity worked for you both. What we could do is at the end of every session, I could come up with a question. You both have your time to talk, and then we summarize and kind of come up together as a team.
Yeah.
Great.
I like that idea.
Okay. Awesome. All right, guys. Well, thank you so much for coming to therapy tonight. I printed out resources for the both of you that I thought would be helpful to review within the week, kind of with the activities that we completed, the discussions we've had. So take a look at it. If you don't think that the resources are helpful, don't worry about it. Just come back to me next week with what you think would be helpful. And then if you would like further information on the resource, let me know. I could help you with the referral or the application or making the call next week. Again, I appreciate everything that we just discussed today, and I will see you guys next Tuesday.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Thanks.
Hi. This was a kind of fun exercise to play. As far as issues relating to diversity and oppression, I believe that when it comes to teenagers having children, most of them come from low-income families and families of different cultural backgrounds. And the
Sorry.
and the problem with that also is that Americans and people want these teenagers to be responsible, but they don't provide the programs and funds in order to assist them with caring for their children.
And also as a parent, you come from these low economic classes, and now your child gets pregnant at a very young age, can't finish high school or college, can't get their degree in any way. And it puts this added stress on you and your spouse, or just you in general, that you can't now fend for your child or your children and your grandchildren, and it just puts on this weight on your shoulders that you can't.
Yeah, and for the social worker role, kind of being able to provide those resources to both the parent and the teenager. There's resources such as like returning back to school, getting an education, housing, job coaching, daycare, registering for school when that time comes, welfare. So it's kind of gathering all of that